how are you? Welcome to video 3. We're social distancing now. What is this? Stay away. Hey, we're following the rules here. It's all good. How are you guys today? Hope you're doing well. Hope days 1 and 2 with steps 1, 2, and 3 have gone well. You're going press to elbow, elbow to post, post to high pelvis. Now we're into step 4, my dear, which is high pelvis to
sweep,
bend.
bend.
I know it's a strange word to describe this step of the get-up, but we're going to blame that on Brett Jones and Gray Cook, okay?
Okay.
The reason, by the way, that word is used is there's a stretched position that Gray developed that really represents the end point of this step 4. So the way that I want to start this video, my dear, is by showing all of our Turkish Get-Up students out there what is the end position that we're going to get to in step 4. So if you would go ahead and get down into that position, I'll talk about some of the details associated with step 4. So this is where you end up after you've gone up into high pelvis, you've swept your leg under your body. What are the key things here to be aware of? This arm comes straight down, and this, in this case, it's her left leg. I haven't mentioned yet, but naturally you want to practice on both sides with the get-up, right? We didn't talk about that, but this is important, right? So if you do it once where you're starting out with the right arm is posted, you want to do it on the other side as well. So in this instance, she's got her left thigh and knee down on the floor. That's vertical, okay? And it's relatively close to where her hand is. This is the other thing I want you to notice is what she has essentially created with her trunk and her arms is something that looks like the letter T, okay? And this is important because this, if we want to think of it as a cross, this is a very stable and strong position to be in at this point in time, okay? Excellent. So those are the things we really want to point out. Now, let's look at how we get into bend. Come back into your start position. Let's quickly run through steps 1, 2, and 3. Press to elbow, elbow to post, post to high pelvis. Whenever you're ready, Terry. You know this exercise well. You've been doing it for a lot of years. So whenever you're ready. And then we'll do it one more time where we actually have you balancing that shoe on top of your fist. Okay, so there is that move, the sweep. So come back into high pelvis for a moment. So what we've got in this situation right now is her hips are elevated. This arm is vertical and she's posting only on that arm. So this leg, the opposite side leg that's straight, this is the leg that, as you recall, I mentioned is kind of going along for the ride. We're bringing it in now. We're going to make that side work. She's going to sweep that leg underneath her such that the thigh is vertical. And she's, again, created that cross or the letter T. All right, rest for a moment. All right, so let's give our viewers a little bit of a different angle, and let's highlight this sweep. Got you turned around here, so go ahead and step through the get-up one step at a time. We're press to elbow, elbow to post, post to high pelvis. So that right leg in this instance is what she's sweeping under her body to bring the knee back to close to her hand position. Now let's reverse here. Go ahead and sweep that leg out and then come back down. Excellent. Fantastic. So let me jump in here for a second, if you would. I want to just demo a couple of things for our viewers. And I think it'd probably be easier for me to really sort of demonstrate these things. So the key element with this particular position as we move from high pelvis to bend, I think this is probably the trickiest part of this exercise. Make sure I'm in the camera. And the key is making the appropriate adjustment of your foot position. So you may find a little further out, a little further in is comfortable. We want to keep this foot, which is connected to our support hip, flat on the floor. We want as much support from this foot as we can. We also want to create a little bit of a static stomp with this side. So as we come up, I'm really pressing down and supporting my body through that right hip, okay? Also, good engagement of the back will really help this. Now, when you get ready to sweep, you're going to have to feel that connection through your trunk and make sure your body feels safe sweeping this left leg over. And the entire time you're doing it, you should be looking at your hand, okay? So this is a tricky portion of this exercise, no question. And what I recommend is as you work through it, work, of course, first on getting into high pelvis. Then unweight this leg first. Before you even try to sweep it, again, you're looking at your hand, just unweight it so you feel like you can move that leg, right? So the more weight I take off of this side and put into this side, the easier it's going to be for me to go like that. And then again, we're looking for this thigh to be vertical. So this is a tricky portion to the exercise. Not easy. And the key is scaling it in a way that allows you to eventually get that leg underneath you. One last thing. Probably the most common error in that position is for folks when they sweep to stop short. And by stopping short, what I mean is not getting the knee close enough to the hand such that this thigh is not vertical, okay? So and this of course challenges mobility of the hip. So we've got to make sure we get high enough and then come far enough. And if you find that getting into this position is difficult, probably means you could use a little additional mobility of the hip. And I can help with that. So contact me, let me know. The other thing is, if you need to adjust your hand position, move it out a little bit, absolutely fine. So all of these little tweaks allow us to be able to scale the exercise. Once you get yourself into bend, you're just rotating into half kneeling at that point. Okay? One last tip for today. This exercise can be tough on the knees. You spend a fair amount of time. So if you need to, get some extra protection for your knees. One of the things that I actually like to use, and I've used before, guys and gals that lay tile or work on carpets have those knee protectors. Those are absolutely fine. If you're on a surface that's hard, not very forgiving, our kneecaps don't like that. So feel free to get yourself a little extra padding. Make sure the surface is sticky so you're not slipping at all. Again, safety first. And then a little extra protection for your knee. Okay? That's a tricky position to get into, Tara. What do you think?
It's the hardest part.
Not for you, because you're so talented. All right, good luck. Remember, if you have questions, pop them into the comments section. Happy to answer them. If you find that mobility of your hip, getting your legs into the proper position is challenging, I can help with that. All right? The goal this week is to help you get your first Turkish getup. And this probably is the trickiest step. So be patient with yourself, be persistent, be kind. Be kind to yourself, not just your neighbors, but yourself too. All right? We're here to help, and we're pulling for you.
You can do it. You can do it.
You can do it.
Don't give up.
All right? Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Nice work out there.